Burning the midnight oil exhausted COP30 delegates, and journalists ordered in refreshments as they waited for a resolution through the night. Were to invest in symbolism, here in the Amazon city of Belém, Brazil, it's been rich, with heavy rain flooding the entrance to a venue which later caught fire after a blaze broke out in the Africa stand. And those most impacted by deforestation quite literally fighting for their voices to be heard. This morning, the sleepless Energy Secretary Ed Miliband emerged without much hope.
Let's see where we end up. Okay.
Will it talk about a transition away from fossil fuels?
We'll see how we get on.
The pressure to sign an agreement was on.
You want a croissant?
At the centre of the Gordian knot that kept negotiators from 194 nations up all night, just 5 words: transition away from fossil fuels. A promise to do just that was made 2 years ago at COP28 in Dubai. But it's those words that petrostates led by Saudi Arabia have been trying to unpick, to the fury of the 80 countries who want a concrete roadmap away from oil, gas and coal.
Fossil fuels are the cause of more than 80% of the emissions that are generating climate change. We cannot look at the people and the future generations if we don't do something now. And we cannot accept a text that is not dealing with the real problems.
Fossil fuels had been mentioned 3 times in the original draft text, with plans to encourage countries to overcome their dependency on fossil fuels, or instead to urge them to work together on phasing out fossil fuel subsidies and to transition away from fossil fuels in a just, orderly and equitable manner. But the final draft, subject to fierce lobbying, dropped any mention of fossil fuels at all. Emerging finally after lunch, the EU's chief climate negotiator's disappointment was palpable.
So we're not going to hide the fact that we would have preferred to have more. And yet, the world is what it is, the conference is what it is, and we do think that this, on balance, is clearly a step in the right direction.
Then down came the hammer, signalling that the text had been approved. Among its concrete promises, 3 times more financial support from richer countries to those most at risk from climate change. But with roadmaps out of fossil fuels and deforestation refused, it's a painful failure for the Brazilian government to bear.
We know some of you had greater ambitions for some of the issues at hand. I know the youth civil society will demand us to do more to fight climate change.
COP's president went on to say he'd launched both roadmaps himself for those countries that wanted to take part, a plan with no teeth that nevertheless got the biggest clap of all. He was later forced to suspend the session after several countries complained they hadn't been heard.
Mr. President, I'm extremely disappointed by this.
Many have been left feeling the engine of global climate cooperation has stalled at a crucial juncture, with 2024 the hottest year on record, and this latest COP summit ending in chaos.